Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel, where we meticulously peel back the velvet curtain on the most compelling and often challenging stories emerging from the heart of the British monarchy. Thank you, as always, for joining our community of informed royal watchers. Today, we delve into a narrative of resilience and profound upheaval, focusing on a figure who has consistently navigated the choppy waters of royal life with a distinctive, sometimes controversial, spirit. Sarah, the Duchess of York, more affectionately known simply as Fergie. The situation surrounding her former husband, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, has reached a new and deeply unsettling phase, precipitating a crisis that has left Sarah reportedly feeling utterly in the doghouse. We are going to explore the extraordinary measures she is taking to cope with this tumultuous period, from managing a complex corporate empire to making heartbreaking decisions about her relationship with her cherished daughters. We will also examine the surprising array of powerful allies who are stepping forward to offer her solace and refuge, and the grim reality of Andrew's isolation at Royal Lodge. This is a story about reputation, survival, and the fierce loyalty of a mother amidst a very public downfall. Before we immerse ourselves in these intricate details, if you find our deep dives into royal history and current events valuable, please take a moment to click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. It truly helps us bring you more of these dedicated reports. The unsettling residency at Royal Lodge. The core of this current drama rests quite literally within the walls of Royal Lodge, that sprawling and storied property nestled in the private sanctuary of Windsor Great Park. Despite the immense societal and institutional pressures following Andrew's highly public stripping of his military affiliations and royal honors, Sarah Ferguson remains a resident there. This shared occupancy with her ex-husband creates a uniquely awkward and, frankly, unsustainable domestic environment, especially given the gravity of the allegations swirling around Andrew. The atmosphere at Royal Lodge must be undeniably strained. Imagine living in close proximity to someone who is currently the focus of such intense global scrutiny and institutional rejection. It's a delicate, almost impossible dance they must perform daily within those grand yet now increasingly isolated rooms. The phrase "in the doghouse" has been widely circulated by insiders to describe Sarah's current emotional and social standing. This term reflects not only the palpable tension radiating from Buckingham Palace regarding her continued association with Andrew, but also the personal shame and stress she is shouldering. In a remarkable piece of irony, perhaps even dark humor, Sarah has found a very literal way to address her predicament. We understand that she has been spending a significant amount of time in a staff-built bar located within the extensive grounds of the mansion. This clandestine watering hole has been given the rather telling moniker, the doghouse. It speaks volumes about Sarah's coping mechanism, a retreat, a place to gather her thoughts and perhaps find a moment of levity amidst the severity of her current circumstances. But this retreat is not solely dedicated to quiet reflection or commiseration. Even in this designated sanctuary, the pressing demands of her commercial life continue to stack up. The corporate cleanup, scrubbing the Duchess title. Beyond the emotional turmoil, Sarah Ferguson is facing an enormous administrative burden. She is reported to be dealing with a significant backlog of essential business paperwork. This isn't merely correspondence, it involves the intricate affairs of her own commercial enterprises. For years, Sarah has cultivated a career as an author, a public speaker, and a director of various ventures. She currently directs no fewer than 8 limited companies. This extensive corporate portfolio requires meticulous management, especially now as she attempts to insulate these businesses and her personal brand from the toxicity surrounding her former husband. A critical, symbolic, and legally necessary change she is implementing involves the careful removal of a single, powerful word from all paperwork related to these 8 limited companies, the word Duchess. Think about the implications of this action. While she technically retains the title as the former wife of a duke, a courtesy title that cannot be easily stripped, the deliberate decision to eliminate Duchess from her commercial documentation is a clear, strategic effort to distance herself professionally and publicly from the scandal. It is a tacit acknowledgement that the Royal Association, once a significant marketing advantage, has become a liability. The Daily Mail has brought to light the extent of this entanglement, emphasizing that Ferguson is deeply engrossed in managing these complex corporate affairs. It is a monumental task of damage control, aiming to ensure that her financial stability and professional reputation, which she has painstakingly rebuilt over decades, do not collapse under the weight of Andrew's ongoing troubles. A mother's painful strategy: protecting Beatrice and Eugenie. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of Sarah's current crisis is the protective shield she is attempting to throw around her two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. As mothers and professional women, Beatrice and Eugenie are established members of the wider royal family, maintaining their own charitable and public profiles. The last thing Sarah wants is for the scandal engulfing Andrew to contaminate their reputations or jeopardize their standing within the institution. A royal insider conveyed the profound difficulty of this situation, noting, and I quote, "Sarah is encouraging Beatrice and Eugenie to get on with life as normal and discouraging them from meeting with her." Let that sink in. A mother is actively pushing her children away, not out of malice, but out of a desperate fear that association with her, while she remains anchored to the sinking ship of Andrew's defense, could inflict irreparable harm on their royal and public lives. This strategy is a painful sacrifice. It highlights the immense pressure placed upon the entire York family. For Beatrice and Eugenie, navigating their roles while their father is effectively in exile, and their mother is managing a public relations nightmare is an incredibly difficult balancing act. Sarah's actions are the ultimate expression of maternal protectiveness, seeking to create a clean break, ensuring that the younger generation can proceed with their duties unburdened by the ongoing controversy. She is willing to endure isolation if it means safeguarding their future. Lifelines and the promise of sanctuary. Despite the palpable sense of isolation and the institutional cold shoulder she is receiving, Sarah Ferguson is far from abandoned. She retains powerful and loyal allies in high places, individuals who recognize her personal resilience and perhaps sympathize with the impossible position she finds herself in. Royal author Andrew Lowney, a figure well-versed in the intricate social circles surrounding the monarchy, shared illuminating details with the Mirror regarding the unexpected support flowing towards Sarah. Lowney specifically highlighted one prominent figure, the entrepreneurial titan, Sir Richard Branson. According to Lowney, Branson has extended an open invitation to Sarah, offering her sanctuary whenever she requires it. Lowney stated, "Richard Branson's invited her to stay at Necker Island whenever she wants." Necker Island, of course, is Branson's exclusive private island paradise in the British Virgin Islands, a location synonymous with luxury, privacy, and escape. This kind of high-profile offer is more than just a gesture of friendship. It is a significant public declaration of support from a globally recognized billionaire, signaling that outside the strict hierarchy of the monarchy, Sarah's standing remains robust among certain elite circles. Lowney further elaborated on the broader network of support, emphasizing that many people are ready to stand by her side. He observed, "Lots of people will come out of the woodwork to support her." This suggests that while the official royal apparatus may be keeping its distance, Sarah's personal charm and history of resilience have earned her deep loyalties. The author also touched upon Sarah's contingency plans, hinting that she might not remain at Royal Lodge indefinitely. Given the volatile situation, relocation seems a plausible option. Lowney suggested she might consider relocating to countries like Switzerland or Portugal. Significantly, one of her daughters, Princess Eugenie, has connections to Portugal, making it a viable and attractive option for establishing a new base close to family. So she has lots of places she can go, Lowney concluded, painting a picture not of a woman completely stranded, but one who, despite being in the doghouse, has powerful friends providing safety nets and escape routes. Hachao, the heartbreak of the revoked invitation. To fully appreciate the tragedy of Sarah Ferguson's current predicament, we must look back just a short time to the period immediately preceding Andrew's catastrophic downfall. Before the full weight of the current situation descended, Sarah had been on the precipice of a full and deeply significant reconciliation with the wider royal family. This was not merely a polite acceptance. It was a genuine return to the fold, marked by tangible gestures of inclusion. She had recently attended key royal events, perhaps most notably making an appearance at Wimbledon, a highly visible and symbolic occasion. Crucially, and perhaps most poignantly, she had received an invitation to Sandringham for Christmas. For those unfamiliar with royal tradition, an invitation to the sovereign's private residence at Sandringham for the Christmas holiday is the ultimate sign of acceptance and royal favor. It is reserved almost exclusively for the closest, most trusted members of the family. After decades in the wilderness, plagued by financial issues and occasional public missteps, this invitation represented Sarah's complete rehabilitation. It was the culmination of years of quiet effort and dignity. Now, that invitation has been revoked. The loss of this privilege is not just a missed holiday. It is the institutional retraction of her hard-won acceptance. It is a public signal that her proximity to Andrew means the door to full reconciliation has been slammed shut once again. The emotional weight of achieving that goal only to have it snatched away due to circumstances largely beyond her control must be immense. Andrew's isolation and the gathering storm. While Sarah is attempting to manage her businesses and protect her daughters, Andrew himself appears to be struggling immensely with his new reality. Reports indicate that the Duke of York is spending his days in a state of agitation, reportedly ranting and muttering about his circumstances and the perceived injustice of his situation. This depiction suggests a man unable or unwilling to accept the consequences of his actions, isolated and consumed by bitterness within the extensive, yet lonely, confines of Royal Lodge. However, Andrew's internal turmoil may be the least of his worries. The external pressure is intensifying, driven by the ongoing work of author Andrew Lowney. Lowney, whose book entitled Prince Andrew and the Sexual Politics of the Monarchy was highly critical and extensively researched, suggests that the situation is poised to worsen significantly as more individuals feel emboldened to come forward with information. Lowney revealed the increasingly serious nature of the sources approaching him, indicating that the information being gathered is highly sensitive and comes from individuals positioned to know the truth. He stated, "I'm hearing from protection officers, diplomats, people in the Navy. I'm getting 2 or 3 people a day." These aren't simply gossips. Protection officers, diplomats, and military personnel represent highly credible professional witnesses who would have been in close proximity to Andrew during his active years. Their willingness to speak suggests a significant shift in the climate surrounding the Duke, indicating that the veil of secrecy and protection is rapidly deteriorating. The sheer volume and high caliber of these new sources have led Lowney to plan for a substantial expansion of his existing work. He is currently preparing an expanded edition of his original book, entitled To Incorporate This New Evidence. Furthermore, he is already planning a sequel, ominously titled Untitled. The title Untitled speaks volumes, underscoring the final, painful reality of Andrew's current status, stripped of his key titles, facing ongoing scrutiny, and seemingly unable to escape the consequences of his past associations. Conclusion: the price of loyalty. Sarah Ferguson's life today is a testament to the complex, often cruel, intersection of private loyalty and public scrutiny. She is trapped in the center of a storm, trying to maintain her professional life and shield her family, all while navigating the emotional turbulence of her former husband's complete collapse. Her decision to retreat to the doghouse while simultaneously scrubbing the Duchess title from her corporate life illustrates the dichotomy of her current existence: personally loyal, yet professionally pragmatic. Her sacrifice in distancing herself from Beatrice and Eugenie is perhaps the greatest indicator of the severity of the situation and her commitment to their well-being. Yet she remains a figure of surprising strength, bolstered by the unwavering support of friends like Richard Branson. She has options, but the cost of exercising them is high, measured in distance from her family, and the final painful acceptance that the door to the full royal fold remains closed. Meanwhile, Andrew's isolation deepens, and the work of authors like Andrew Lowney suggests that the full truth of his conduct is still being uncovered, promising further turbulence for the entire House of Windsor. We want to hear your thoughts on this challenging situation. Do you believe Sarah Ferguson is making the right strategic moves by distancing her daughters and removing the Duchess title from her businesses? What does the open support from figures like Richard Branson tell us about her standing outside of the royal family? Please share your perspectives and observations in the comment section below. We read every single one. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch our detailed report. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more in-depth royal analysis, and join us next time as we continue to track these evolving stories. Until then, take care.